Welcome to Legal Knowledge-Dejure. In my previous video, I discussed Promissory Estoppel and the requirements of Promissory Estoppel. But there is this principle on Promissory Estoppel that needs to be understood to you. Promissory Estoppel is a shield, not a sword. It is important to know that you can use Promissory Estoppel as a defense. That's why it is termed as it is a shield. You cannot sue someone. Someone can sue you and then you can use that as a defense. Promissory Estoppel is not a sword. To me, you cannot use Promissory Estoppel to create a new cause of action. You cannot sue for Promissory Estoppel. That's why it is termed as Promissory Estoppel is a shield, not a sword. You cannot use Promissory Estoppel to create a new cause of action, but you can use that as a defense. I set an example in my previous video in a tenancy agreement. The landlord and a tenant. The landlord reduced the rent and the tenant accepted. He relied on the promise of the landlord and he acted. But after some times, the landlord came and he said that you have to pay the full amount. In that regard, the tenant has been treated unfairly. The tenant cannot sue. The tenant can only use that if the landlord has forced the tenant to pay by going to court. Once the landlord has gone to court, definitely the tenant can stand his defense to say that I was promised to pay this amount instead of the full amount, and I paid. The landlord accepted. So in that regard, the court will guard you as a tenant not to pay the full amount after the landlord has sued. You cannot sue for Promissory Estoppel. Promissory Estoppel can only be used as a defense when you have been treated unfairly. Thank you for watching. If you have any question, you can ask in the comment section.